All right, Milo, you ready to roll? Okay, let's start the coach's chat. You ready? You ready? All right, my friends, the coach's chat is back. This week, it's myself and Mila Rose. I am without my my right hand, Abby. She is a little sick and under the weather, so we're gonna send her well wishes and healthy vibes as she recoups this week. So what I figured I would do here as a solo edition of, say, the coach's chat is I Googled the 10 most common CrossFit questions. So I have been involved, my name is Shawn McQueen, I've been involved in the CrossFit space for 13 years, 12 as inside of an affiliate or a gym, 10 as a affiliate owner, and through that time I've experienced a wide array of CrossFit changes within CrossFit, my own experiences within CrossFit. So these 10 questions I'm going to answer through my experience of being in this space for about 12 years. Okay. First question, what is CrossFit? The easiest way to think about this question is CrossFit is a training methodology and a training program that utilizes and relies on constant variance paired with functional movements at a relative intensity for the individual. If we broke those down into some segments, the variance means each training day is going to be a little bit different. So it's always going to challenge the body in a different stimulus and different adaptation each day. So there's variety there. That keeps training fun and also provides a unique different stimulus for the body. Then there's functional movements. So in a CrossFit setting, you're more than likely going to be doing movements that have a great carryover to everyday life. Picking something up, standing up from something, squatting, pressing, pulling, things of these nature, multi-compound joint, compound lifts, multi-joint movements, taking things from adaptations of running, gymnastics, lifting, and combining those things or separating those things versus, say, like an isolation maybe in the bodybuilding realm, which every training tool has its own individual purpose. And then the last piece is the intensity part. And that, I think, is where CrossFit can also get a bad rep. Intensity just means the ability to do more work or produce more power in a relative time. And that's going to be different for everybody. Someone in their 50s intensity is going to be different than someone in their early 20s. And that's where the relative part comes in. It doesn't mean reckless or dangerous or without intention. It just means that learning to move through different gears and speeds that we have is how I think about it, okay? So that's the first question. The second question, are all CrossFit gyms the same? Now, this is a unique question because if we think about a McDonald's, okay, and I'll just use this example because I know it's not the greatest example, but McDonald's is a fast food franchise. And you could go to a McDonald's in Louisiana, and you can go to one in Colorado, and you can go to one in New York, and you're gonna get the same number 7, whatever that is, and it's going to be within, a very, very small deviation the same, okay? Not all CrossFit gyms are equal or the same. What's probably common in most CrossFit gyms is you're gonna get a great workout. You're going to be working out with a certain amount of other people. But what's different is how that experience is to be unfolded, the priorities of that specific affiliate or gym, the way in which they value how that process unfolds in terms of how the experience gets laid out. And that's where my belief on this question is each gym, what makes it unique is each gym, the values stem from the ownership down to the team and then the team out to the community. So if I use my affiliate at Railroad, we value longevity. We value preparing. So our coaches, this goes into our programming, this goes into how we run our classes. We care about our people's bodies. And I'm not saying other gyms don't. What I'm saying is, for example, our affiliate here, a coach will map out and write out a lesson plan hours before they've coached the class. So they know how they're gonna run that class. We always will do a coach-led warm-up The coach will break down their board brief in a systematic, structured way, so the comprehension level is extremely high. We break every movement down, regardless of experience level, exposure to it, how many times we've done it, into progression and skills and drills to refine, improve, or obviously touch points on that. And then obviously another point is the inclusivity of making sure each person gets the best approach to whatever the thing we're doing is for that day, whether it's an ailment, they have an injury, whether it's what's appropriate loading or movement or range of motion. So all these things are considered every single class here. And then obviously an environment of inclusivity, of love, of acceptance, of it doesn't matter what you do, it's the effort behind it, and it's being creating that space for people. So long-winded way on that one to say, not all gyms are created equal. And when we get to the last question, this kind of will circle back to tying this all back together. Question number 3, question 3 and 4 actually go together. Question 3 is CrossFit safe? And question 4 is, I heard CrossFit is dangerous. So let's kind of pair these together. Is CrossFit safe? CrossFit can be entirely safe, okay? Where does this go wrong is, CrossFit can utilize, and does at times, when I say CrossFit, I mean CrossFit gyms, Olympic lifting, gymnastic movements. Now, pair that with not great coaching, not great progressions, not great care for where an individual what they should or shouldn't be doing based on their skill, strength, or just where their body is at. That's where things can get unsafe. Poor form is where things can go unsafe, and not stopping that, not coaching that. And it goes back to kind of the previous question of always drilling things in progressions and refining. And the coach, in my opinion, is the lead, the guide. And should there be poor movement or whatever there is, we fix that, or we stop that, or we change that right there. So CrossFit can be safe, and it can also be dangerous, like anything, walking across the street. So it goes back to what are the values of the gym and how are these done in this facility. I've had experiences where, they're less than stellar. A coach started a workout and then sat behind the desk. And it's not to throw CrossFit under the bus, it's to say that particular gym's values were very different than my own or other gyms. And that could throw safety out the window for people. So I heard CrossFit is dangerous, or I could get hurt is kind of like number 4. Of course, what's unique about this one is coming into a training environment. And again, if the coaching isn't a top priority, if that coach isn't skilled or qualified, and I say that with the most love and respect, that everyday ordinary people are coming in and their bodies might not tolerate going through some of the movements that CrossFit deems as movements to do, they might not line up. Someone's joint mobility, somebody's range of motion, somebody's tissue buildup. So that's an element within this question where it's a little gray, and unfortunately, again, not everything is created equal, and people have gotten hurt to go through that experience. Again, not every experience is the same. Anything can be dangerous. Anything with in this space, with poor coaching or poor programming or poor adjustments or poor leadership or poor values could obviously be dangerous. I myself, if I use myself, I also believe that everybody, seeing bodies and body types and all sorts of training throughout 13 years, I believe everybody has a particular area of their body that can or will bug them from time to time or present issues. For me, it's my shoulder. For someone else, it's their left knee or their back or wrist or whatever it is. So we have to be really smart when we train. We can train smart, but I've seen a lot, and myself included, I've been the problem within these instances, not CrossFit. And I think that's a real ownership and accountability on this particular question. So we, the individual, have the strong ability to make it dangerous. I don't think it's the other way around. Yeah. Okay, number 5. What does WOD mean? This is a really simple one. WOD, or WOD, stands for workout of the day. And in CrossFit lingo, there are some acronyms, and this is meaning what is the thing that we're doing for the day, okay? Number 6, why is CrossFit expensive? Great question. Folks are very familiar in the gym thought, the gym atmosphere, in an access type mentality, meaning a Planet Fitness, a Life Fitness, a Gold's Gym. Those are access type gyms. I pay a small amount to go to that gym and have access to whatever I want, whenever I want, 24 hours or whatever it may be. That's access. A CrossFit gym has, what's different about a CrossFit gym is a CrossFit gym has a coach or coaches, and all of that guesswork is taken out of for you. So you're paying for coaching. You're paying for it to come in. You don't have to worry about how to warm up, how to write the workout, how to get results, how to do the thing. Everything is going to be taken care of for you. So it's that difference of, I'm not paying for access anymore. I'm paying for all those problems to be solved via coaching. And within that, hopefully, someone to ensure I'm moving well, I'm moving safely. They're guiding me towards results. They're checking in on me. They care about me. They're invested in me. They connect me with other people. They know how to gently push, pull back, all of everything in between. That and a plethora of other things has the role of the coach in the group atmosphere. So you're paying for personal training really condensed down, where you get access to a coach, and hopefully a great one. I'm sorry, we got puppy snores. Adorable. You're paying for a coach in an environment where there's going to be others, where they're dispersing their attention through. So that's the difference in compared to like an access type gym. So it's a shift in mentality. Number 7, are CrossFit coaches good? Whew, they can be, and they can also not be. Well, maybe we should go into what makes a CrossFit coach good. It's not a bunch of credentials. It's not they have their level 1, level 2, level 3, in my opinion. What makes a good CrossFit coach, in my opinion, number 1, they truly care about, and it's obvious, they care about every single person in that room. They've prepared, and they treat this like a profession. So they've prepared, written lesson plan, they mapped out how they're going to coach the class. They're relentless during the class, meaning they're looking for good movement and highlighting that. They're ensuring that people are safe and doing a good job at keeping people safe by teaching them through progressions and drills, and then where there is unsafe movement, changing and fixing that right on the spot. They're offering up where people can move even better or refine it, and they're doing it in the right doses. But at the core level, it's about the care and making that obvious. And at this stage now, teaching people how to move, not only move better and get greater workouts, but teaching them how to think differently and become better people is, a little bit of a nugget there as well. So to me, that's what makes more of the CrossFit coach in the realm of good. But what makes it not good? I would say they care more about competing than you. They care more about their workout, or I'm coaching a class and I jump into coaching. That's not great, red flags. I would also say anything in the realm of warm up on your own, do it on your own, and a lack of professional, care, attentiveness, things of that nature, and anything in that bucket, I would put into this category where they allow unsafe movement to just fly. They, things in that realm really kind of tipped aside for me on not good coaches. Number 8, what is a typical CrossFit class like? I'll use from Railroad from our personal experience here. So a typical CrossFit class, obviously, hopefully you go through a proper onboarding first, which means you get introduced to these patterns of movement: squatting, bending, pressing, through 3, 6, however many introductory sessions to learn about your body, learn about these movements, and of course get some, where am I at assessment wise? Can I, how do these things feel? So let's say that's done. Typical CrossFit class. 5 minutes or so before the class, the coach is on the floor, connecting with people, engaging. And this isn't a perfect world. Then class begins and the coach leads a general warm-up. The coach guiding this has thought about this. And what's happening here is the range of motion of the body is getting prepared for whatever it is that we're doing for the day, whether it's first thing in the morning for you or end of your day or anywhere in between. So depending on what we're doing for that day, this could be 3 to 10 minutes of the coach leading us through body prep, getting the body generally prepared here. From there, it could be mobility, or it could be we're going to go right into a board breakdown. And at this, the coach will break down an overview through 3 to 5 minutes of what are we doing for the day? What is the intention? What are the muscles we're working? All this is taken care of. If it's a workout, the target ranges, the pacing and how to strategize, adjustments, because you might not, due to strength, skill, injury, competency level yet, you might not be able to do a piece or a part of the thing, and I need to know how to adjust, and that's going to all be given for you in the board overview, and an opportunity to ask any questions, and it's going to be done in a way that's super streamlined and systematic. From there, typically we'll go into what I call like a progressive build breakout. The coach will then refresh, refine, and break down the movement in a fashion that's quick and digestible for the brain, and then we get to moving, and the coach will then do drills, skills, and progressions to familiarize, refine, improve, and set patterns for what we're about to do for that day. So it builds on itself. Then there's probably a time to what I would call like build in load, build in skill, build in intensity, build in heart rate, whatever it is, where you get a little bit of practice time before either the workout or the strength. And that's where the coach is kind of seeing how things are laying out, giving people time to acclimate. So again, it's kind of this build period, restroom break should we need, or we plug that in, and then it's into either the strength or the workout once you've gone through all the parts of prep and specifics. Go through strength. The coach during this time, or workout I should say, is looking for, what do I see that I like? And of course, the coach's eye, in my opinion, and at least here, is always looking for safety. Safety first. Okay, safety's all checked. Then it's efficiency. What's moving well? Where could I make my improvements? And then layering those in. And it's done in doses where it's not done, not gonna hound the same person. Mila, do this, do this, do this, do this, no, do this, no, do this. The experience just becomes a really sour one if that's the case. It's picking the most important thing that day to move the needle just a little bit. Room in the room, energy's up, coaching, and there's this experience happening. Say that concludes, then there's the kind of intermission of, or I should say the transition of high fives and effort and acknowledging what we just did, whether it's strength, workout, and everything in between, and then group cleanup, and then a group cool down together. So we start the class together, we end the class together. It's not you finish your thing and you're out the door. That's what happens here. And that's if we're doing one strength piece or a main strength piece, and or one workout a day. Sometimes usually there's 2 parts, so there's similar progression there. But that's it in a nutshell in terms of trying to keep it brief and an overview. The magic happens in the experience. So that's number 8. Number 9, will I have to follow a special diet? You will not have to follow a special diet. Long time ago when CrossFit was in its origins, there were particular ways of eating. Paleo diet, you might be familiar with, zone diet. What I do find that's really great about CrossFit gyms is we get more in tune and more aware of what we're eating and how we're eating, and making strides in improving that. That's huge. Eating is something we're going to be doing 3 to 4 times a day for the rest of our lives. So making strides and improvements here, decreasing processed foods, increasing the quality of foods and protein intake and nutrients is going to be substantial across the quality of our life. So I think this goes as a major pro in terms of the CrossFit program itself. Now, each gym is different about this. I know for us, we teach the habits around nutrition. But yeah, you don't have to follow a particular way of eating. I do know you will gain education, whether through osmosis in the class, asking your coach questions, and or enlisting in the help of, say, nutrition coaching if that gym serves that, which, ideally, you're covering the basis of movement and nutrition, and you can get help there too, to clean that up, because man, pairing those two together, that's the way. And the last question, how do I pick the right gym for me? This is a great question. So if you haven't, or you're at a gym and you're kind of reevaluating, everything in between, let's go to the person that hasn't picked out their gym yet. If you're thinking or you're on the fence, I would ask yourself some questions. Do you like, if it is across the gym, do you like to and want to be around other people of all different ages, abilities, and backgrounds? And if not, then maybe it's more of a one-on-one or a semi-private training route, or maybe it's something different entirely. Because those access type gyms we talked about, that takes a certain level of discipline to go into that sort of gym, create a plan, know how to warm up, know how to keep getting results, and it's a very, very small percentile of people. Most of us want that problem solved for us, and we want to go to a place, have all that guesswork taken out, and thrive, have fun, connect, and get some camaraderie and some community, and that's what CrossFit can serve. So the right gym, what are your values? What do you value? Do you value longevity and health and the long-term spectrum? Do you value a really competitive environment and skills and continually progressing up that ladder? These things can be separators for particular gyms and areas of focus for gyms. I'm even just thinking of ours in the area right here. So it's identifying that for you, and then I would hope having a dialogue and questions with owner coaches of that particular gym to see if it's a right fit. And I don't mean take a class. That's not the way that I think people should start. I mean a conversation. Tell me more about, first the individual. Tell me more about you, what you're looking for, what's impactful for you, where do you want to move towards, and then asking questions about the gym to get a sense if it's right for you, what matters to you. Maybe it's age range, maybe it's what's the culture like in your opinion? These sorts of questions I think can be helpful starting your journey, because not all gyms are created equal. I wish they were more streamlined towards particular standardized of experience, like the experience was consistent. The program itself is effective. You will get results, you will get great results. The experience level that makes us want to keep coming back and keeps us safe, that I know to be a little inconsistent, and that's just the nature of the beast. So doing your inquiry, asking how important is safety here? How do you guys approach safety? If that is a priority, which I would imagine it is for most people, asking those questions. And the person on the other side should be ready and wholeheartedly prepared to answer that. So those are 10 common questions about CrossFit. And maybe I'll just button up the whole CrossFit questions with being in this space myself now, being involved in CrossFit for 13 years. I started the program because I loved the variety and the adaptations for my body, and it was fun. And then when I joined an affiliate, I fell in love with the community aspect and all walks of life and ordinary people doing extraordinary things all the time. And I don't mean movements, I mean seeing the mental fortitude of a mom in her 30s or 40s, excuse me, or somebody who in her 60s never run more than 100 meters and then run a half mile, or somebody learn how to jump rope who just cannot connect coordination, and everything in between. People are amazing at the potential that they have. In a beginning portion for me in particular, CrossFit also served a void in my life, leaving the military, people-wise, community-wise, as well as competitive-wise. It gave me something to really push my chips in and try to be really good at. And that's what's fun about it. And now maybe 12, 13 years later, and having gone through a little bit of a shoulder injury, no fault of CrossFit, this is my responsibility. My whole vision and landscape has changed in terms of taking the best elements of the program, removing the elements of the program that, in my opinion, do not serve the mass general pop, and continually researching and finding the ways in a strength and conditioning platform, because at its core, that's what we want to offer here, and CrossFit being the conditioning part, but in a better way, where it's not all these high level skills or high rep Olympic lifts out of your scope, but things that are within the program that 60 to 80% of people have the ability to do, and find the right doses of challenging those people. But at the core, it's focusing on longevity, getting people stronger, and doing it in these methods and patterns that provide consistent results, and less about that varied adaptation of getting really good at said movements within this space. And that's just my own experience. And maybe for me, having to go through my particular, say, like injury, is having learned from that, is I don't want people to have to go through that. And I know how addictive getting good and being obsessed with the movements and training them in an overtraining sort of overreaching sort of platform, how that can do that. So it's about quality of life at this point. And love coaching and guiding people along that journey and along that path. So I hope this was helpful. I think I'm starting to lose my voice, so give me one sec. Clearly captivated little Rosie here from her nap. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully abs will be back to full health. These were 10 common questions about CrossFit. Enjoy, my friends.